Violent proc again, then I can put the immunity right back up. You guys can imagine how many times that has actually saved my team just from that one violent proc alone. Don't forget guys, every time you comment and like one of my videos this month, you'll be entered to win a Samsung tablet. Just make sure you're subscribed to the channel and hit the bell so you're notified whenever I post a video, because the more videos you comment on, the higher your chances are to win. Good luck. Hey, what's going on guys? Welcome back. It's Claytano. Thank you so much for tuning in as always. And today I'm gonna be kind of talking to you guys about the differences between Swift VELAJUEL and Violent VELAJUEL. So I've been actually using myself personally Violent VELAJUEL for probably the past 2-3 years or so, and I haven't really thought or even considered switching him over to Swift until a pretty close friend of mine by the name of Above told me that I should do it for RTA because it would probably help out quite a bit for my RTA teams and comps and just give me first turn and give me a huge advantage over my opponents because of it. So I did switch him over to Swift, and now I kind of want to talk to you guys about the differences I've been noticing between what it used to be from what it is now. And it's not just even in RTA, but it's also in other aspects of the game where he's like maybe now not as good, or maybe he's still better with the Swift. So just to start off, I want to show you guys what my VELAJUEL looks like now, okay? So this is him. He is on a Swift Will Rune set, and he's got some decent HP. The defense is a little bit lower than what normally you would want to see on a VELAJUEL, especially one that you're using in RTA, but he's at around 275 speed, which is fairly respectable for a Swift Will set on VELAJUEL with only 95 base speed. It's like kind of hard. And then he also has a little bit of room for improvement as well, with the slot 3 having the ability to be, you know, grinded out and stuff. But here's the runes that I have on him. It's speed with crit damage and HP. And then the defense subsets that he's getting is strictly through substats alone, which is right here for 14%, 17% there, and that is about it. That's about it. So I wish I had a lot more defense on him than he does now, but like I said, that's the only thing that I really am, you know, not super happy about. The one thing that I might switch on him is actually changing out his 4 slot from a crit damage rune, since he still doesn't do like that much damage, unfortunately, as I was hoping he was going to do. But once I get this to maxed out with about 22 speed on it and a couple other things added in there as well, and switch this rune out for it, he's going to lose a little bit of speed, but I think it's going to be worth it in the end to have HP instead of the crit damage on slot 4. Now for RTA, I've been using him for probably, I've actually been using him all season 7 so far now. And he's been proving to be really, really, really useful in RTA. The only thing that I get messed up with a little bit is that if the other team brings like a Ganny Hather against me, there's no chance that I'm going to violent proc out of their sleep. And it's pretty much GG if they happen to cut in between. So even having that one chance that I can violent proc from the one turn where I'm at 1 immunity, I do a skill, and if I violent proc again, then I can put the immunity right back up. You guys can imagine how many times that has actually saved my team just from that one violent proc alone, to where now I really have to be careful when I use my 3rd skill, because I have to know that they're going to have a full turn against not only just my VELAJUEL, but my entire team, where I don't have a chance to violent proc out of it unless I bring another immunity monster with him. So it does change up the playstyle a little bit. As you can see, my last fight here, I was actually using Frigate with him, which is nice because he lowers the skill cooldown of my champions or my monsters as well. So it kind of decreases that gap, right? So I don't have to worry about having that gap in between, which is really nice. And also if I have Ganymede with him as well, it's super nice because Ganny can just increase him if he needs to in order to give him that immunity buff again up before he before he loses it. The other thing that I noticed as well, while I have the RTA screen up before I move on to a different part of the game, is that having him on Swift, he personally is really nice and fast, but I do have some pretty fast other monsters that are with him that are actually built on Violent. And because they're on Violent, they're Violent proccing out of the immunity a lot faster still than VELAJUEL is able to get around his 3 turns before he's able to put it up again. So it does leave my other monsters a little bit more susceptible as well, where it used to be with Violent VELAJUEL, he would be the one Violent proccing a lot and could sometimes lap the other units that I'm playing with on my allies to be able to put up that immunity again before they even lose it, you know? So that's one thing I just really noticed, whether it's a bad thing or a good thing. I have noticed that I've had an increase win rate with VELAJUEL being on Swift now than I had previously with him being on Violent, but I did have to make a couple other adjustments to my team just to make sure that he's protected well enough and he has some skill cooldowns and stuff like that as well. But having first turn, guys, trust me, has won me several games a lot quicker than you would probably think. So it's really nice to have that. But some other parts of the game that VELAJUEL can and is used in a lot is the first one here is Guild Wars. I actually use him a lot on my Guild War defense with Artemil and Iris, and this used to be a defense that would get several defense successfuls on any given week. So it was really rare that people would kill my second defense but not be able to it was really rare that people would kill my first defense, which is this one right here, and not be able to kill the second defense. But for them to lose to this first defense happened a lot, and then a lot of times they would actually beat the second defense. So because of that, now I have noticed a little change here. So you can see that maybe because he's a Swift VELAJUEL, I was missing out on some defense successfuls here. And he does have one against Celtics, but against Lonely Gleb, Cerebroman R, and Baytek, he wasn't able to get the win. And I would almost never see a draw on that side. If anything, I would see a defense successful or a draw with the win being on the left side. And if you guys don't know already, I know some people on my Twitch chat didn't know this, but if you look at where the 1L and the 1W is, that is letting you know what defense was the one that won in order to force the draw. So if it's on the right side, that means it's your right defense. If it's on the left side, that means it's your left defense. And so right now, my right defense has 3 wins and my left defense only has 1 win. So that's something that was, like I said, super shocking to me. I didn't think it was going to make that much of a difference, but already I didn't change any of the runes on my Artemil or my Iris, and he just has not been getting wins like he used to be. So it's a little unfortunate to see that. But then if I go to, say, like R5, on R5, sometimes people use him with a defense build and they use him as like a violent cleanser, right? Because he's really good at that and has the immunity as well, which kind of helps out in R5. And he would probably still be better on Violent, because I say the general rule of thumb is if they are a cleanser, they can be on Violent. If they're not a cleanser, take them off Violent at all costs in R5, because you're killing your other teammates because you're getting more turns than you really need to. Even though your score might be so much higher than the other people that you're playing with, your general success rate, because you have Violent on like monsters like, I don't know, like Hua or Xiaolin, if that's the case, then you're probably doing your team more bad than good. So just keep that in mind. But I think with a Swift VELAJUEL, he's still able to, do the job that he needs to, but it's just going to be a little bit less effective than what it was previously, if you can kind of imagine what that would be, right? But yeah, guys, really that's about it. I have noticed that my defense is still getting a lot of pretty good success rate, even in Conqueror now as well. And he is he's on my defense with these other monsters as well. So still doing decent, whether he was Violent or Swift on this one. I think actually for defense, I would probably prefer him on like a really, really fast Violent set as well. But this is nice because it just catches people off guard. And I think it would also be kind of funny if I had a speed lead and outsped some like Bernards and Tianas and stuff like that. I think that would be awesome. But for now, that's just what I'm rolling with. And that's about it, guys. So if you guys have your thoughts on whether you prefer Violent or Swift VELAJUEL, go ahead and drop those down in the comments section below. And as you guys know already, I'm sure, every comment that you leave on one of my videos and every like that you like one of my videos on throughout the month of October automatically will enter you in to win a Samsung tablet. And if you guys have missed some of my previous videos already in the month, go back and watch those so that way you can comment and like those as well, because every time you comment and like one of my videos, you're adding another entry into the giveaway, so you have a higher chance to win. Just make sure you guys are subscribed so that way you're eligible, and also click the bell so you know when my videos go live to be, so that way you guys can get your comments in. But aside from that, guys, that's gonna be it for today's video. Thank you so much for watching. As always, stay soupy, don't be potatoes, and I'll see you guys next time. All right.